any good thing.
They will put on December 25th.
Thank you very much, Councilor.
Getting ready to go on a beautiful wonderful trip for you. We can be, but. Right.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to listen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the sound of the universe.
That usually, sorry. I know. I recognize that. That was a purposeful slam on your town.
I'm good, man. I don't mind you taking a shot at the family.
Every week.
Who's that enthusiasm that sucks? Oh, that absolutely not even close. Don't do it. I told her.
I'm given her terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her. Yeah. I told her.
Get some water. Allergies are killing me.
It's every other
In a better class of people.
Right, right. And get them on your speed dial, they'll be at every single agreement, they'll be fine. You're like, maybe I should think about that.
She's got no voice in her family. She doesn't need me. They're all freaking voice. Take my
They're all a teacher or what? Not too bad.
all right. Jean's here. You're in charge. What's wrong with her? She wants to work. I'm sure everything happened. She did, unfortunately. Did you take that one? She didn't know what she's doing. Please. I think everything else. Yeah, me too. I could use it. I'll take 100 grand.
Oh, is this the middle of May or the middle of
She
March?
does it, but I hear that you guys don't want to, so I'm gonna go touch base with her now and let her know if we got it.
They say that some sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me touch base with her.
You did?
Yeah.
Mary, yes,
She was supposed to go.
Let me know when you have your grand opening.
She's still in bed. Yeah, she's still up.
That's real money. That's it. Oh, but God. Oh. 2 weeks away.
She still goes.
Golf course improvements.
I think, I personally think that really bad.
Some people say it's so much. These folks pay for appliances, in great shape, etc.
One floor. Yeah, he makes more than me.
My son was bankrupt for
Marilyn, good to see you.
That's what makes me want to. So you keep your camera?
If you get a spot where you go, you're fine. If not, you move it around. When you get there,
Tomorrow. Yeah. Everybody, let me tell you something. Everybody lies, exaggerates, composes, everybody. Everybody.
But not like guys don't.
Everybody.
It's an offensive mechanism.
I think everybody does. Hey, how'd you do with your SATs? Oh, I got 14 down. Like, Kelly, you got 13.
she's in the room.
I think it's like 141.
Yeah, I'm not talking.
Balcony, glass.
But it's not big lies. Oh, where'd you go?
I don't hear it.
Exaggerates.
They had that.
How'd you do that?
It was a brand, whatever you said.
All right, well, I'm done. I know.
I love that pie.
I like it.
Stop off a check.
I guess so, huh?
Yeah,
Saturday night.
Saturday night, I'll bring you probably not losing.
That's gonna win you
Hey,
the
he right
first
there.
prize for
Yeah, whatever information he's on the file.
You're living a hell of a life, right? Saturday night, damn, he's not kidding, like this.
At 10 o'clock Saturday night, I know exactly where I'm gonna be. It's gonna be on a pillow.
All right, yeah, if you can have somebody put a file, that'd be great.
I don't think I've ever been to bed on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
I can guarantee you I have.
Well, guess
Quite a
what?
number of them.
They call people like
Yeah,
Joe.
Saturday night at 3 o'clock.
My
That's
email.
why
All right, buddy, you got it.
I'm going out to dinner with Masters, my friend today. 8 o'clock.
You know what's nice about that? He's a friend.
Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time. Guess what? You're enough. You go to dinner at like 5:30.
At 8:30.
Me too. It's that. Unless I'm out. If I'm out, I'm
How do they got my shit? They figure out if they can dump it down. I said earlier, I'm playing with the net. You can dump it down.
So if I'm out, like last night I was out at 10 o'clock, I was fine.
But what I don't understand is, I'm totally serious. If I called you at 6:30, you're sleeping.
At night?
No, in the morning. You're sleeping.
No, I'm not sleeping at 6:30 in the morning.
How early could I call you? You can call me,
I'm up at 5:30 every morning.
so if I call you anytime after 5:30.
5:30, absolutely.
Okay.
I go
Chris.
to dinner at 6.
You can call me anything but late for dinner.
I have a lot of people.
It's good.
So I'm wonderful in the morning. I walk around and no people take my calls.
They say you should go to bed and get up.
Everything's.
I just read that for you.
Where's the LG?
She's coming.
Does that include the 17 times I have to have you?
Lines and rents. An hour and a half ago. Maybe sometime. Jen, you got to go watch it.
It's not.
Terry, I'd like to have the digging rights in your backyard.
Yeah, right.
All those tin cans.
I have no idea what this game is. I'm not holding on to kids.
Alrighty. Good afternoon, everyone. We can call this assembly to order. I hope that Councilwoman Duff is okay. She's not here today? Okay.
I think she's in.
Okay. Just would like to start with our prayer, and I call upon Councilor Devaney to lead us in prayer and pledge.
Thank you. Today on National Police Day, we join in prayer to express our gratitude to all police officers across the country, to our local communities. Almighty God, keep our police officers safe from harm, to allow these officers at the end of their shift to go home to their families. We remember and pray for those police officers, our heroes, who gave their lives, who were killed while protecting us. Dear God, we seek your intervention against the increasing violence and senseless killing of our police officers. We offer our prayer for those who lost their lives so tragically. Embrace those families and friends who mourn. May your presence bless and console them. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to recognize Councilor Jubinville for a motion recorded advice and consent for the financial warrant.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I recognize Councilor Ferreira for a motion to record advice and consent for the pending list of notaries, public, and justices of the peace.
So move, Governor.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have 3 motions. The first is asking Councilor Caissie for a motion to record advice and consent for the appointment of James G. Haddad to the position of Associate Justice of the Gardner District Court.
I'm happy to so move, Lieutenant Governor.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Okay. We may begin the roll call.
Councilor Caissie.
Yes.
Councilor Hurley.
Yes.
Councilor Ferreira.
Yes.
Councilor Jubinville.
Yes.
Councilor Devaney.
Could I just say, this is a great appointment. I really am, I'm very pleased because, you know, we have so much child abuse, and he's dedicated himself to this and his whole career. So I'm very pleased on this appointment.
Is that a yes? Councilor Devaney.
It's a roll call.
Yes.
Okay.
Councilor Iannella.
Yes.
Councilor Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I recognize Councilor Jubinville for a motion to record advice and consent for the appointment of Jennifer M.D. Allen to the position of Associate Justice of the Probate Court, Suffolk County.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We may begin the roll call.
Councilor Hurley.
Yes.
Councilor Ferreira.
Yes.
Councilor Jubinville.
Yes.
Councilor Devaney.
Yes.
Councilor Iannella.
Yes.
Councilor Kennedy.
Yes.
Councilor Caissie.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And I recognize Councilor Kennedy for a motion to record advice and consent for the reappointment of Kathy L. McNair to the position of Public Administrator for Suffolk County.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, there's no roll call necessary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. We have 2 new nominations today. One is Attorney Michael P. Doolin, who's been nominated to the position of Associate Justice of the Superior Court, and that would be within your jurisdiction, Councilor Kennedy?
May 29th at 10:30, please.
Okay. All right, and we also have Attorney Jennifer D. Queally being nominated to the position of Associate Justice of the District Court Circuit, and that would be within your jurisdiction,
Right.
Councilor Devaney.
I would like that to be at 11 o'clock. I'm trying to think, it's May, it's 2 days after Memorial Day.
That's the 29th.
The 29th, I just put one on for 10:30.
But he just put one on at
10:30.
that same day.
Pardon me?
I just put one on at 10:30 that day.
Oh,
So Attorney Doolin is on at 10:30 on Wednesday, May 29th.
You have to go to the next week, unless you want to.
no, I don't want to the same day. I'll make it the next week.
Which would be June
11
5th.
a.m.
At what time?
Yeah, because I already talked with her
11, I
today,
think.
and so I will,
Did you say 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, 11 a.m. That would be Attorney Queally on June 5th. Okay,
Lieutenant Governor?
yes, Counselor.
I have a statement that I would like to make. I have a statement that's allowed by the First Amendment, and I want to put it in the public record. For the public, I will explain the public process to apply for a judicial appointment with the following 5 points. 1, the nominee is interviewed by the JNC and the Judicial Nominating Commission. If chosen, the JNC recommends 2, nominee is interviewed by the JNC Legal Counsel and JNC Executive Director / Legal Counsel and recommended to the Governor. And 3, the Governor recommends to the Governor's Council. And 4, Governor's Council holds a hearing for the nominee, and the next week the Council votes on the nominee. Today we had nominees that we'll be voting on, and just for example of the process, one nominee waited 4 months from submitting his application to the JNC to getting an interview. Then waited 12 months, a year, to be interviewed by the Governor's Legal Counsel. For Sharon Caissie, she applied and she had 11 days after submitting her application to the JNC, and she, and it was a matter of, I don't know, 2 weeks, I think, that she went from the application to coming to her interview with the council. The process is an example for the person that we voted today, took 18 months. 18 months, from November 2017 to May 2019. In my 20 years, the process for a nominee averages a year or more to completion. It appears also there was more than one standard for J&C members' attendance. Average number of members of the Judicial Nominating Commission, 6, 8, maybe 10 if you're lucky, that are present at any hearing. For Sharon Caissie, there were 20 of the 21 members present. This is the first time in this administration that there had been that many members in attendance for an interview. 20 members enthusiastically violated the prohibition clearly stated in the Governor Executive Order 558, Section 1.5.2, which prohibits J&C members from endorsing and voting on anyone whom they have, and I quote from the executive order, who they have current or past personal and business relationship. Consider the governor's prohibition. Sharon Caissie worked regularly with the Judicial Nominating Commission. Her duties as J&C designated clerk and J&C executive director and governor's legal counsel was to work with the J&C to arrange the interviews of the J&C nominees, set their schedules, keep their records, tally their votes, manage their files, and prepare the report for the governor. Sharon Caissie stated at her governor's council hearing that she has never appeared in court. In all her years as a lawyer, she has only worked 8 years full-time. She also stated how at the 2014 governor's election party, and this was in the newspaper, the lieutenant governor asked her to think of what position she would like to serve in the State House. She went on to say, the lieutenant governor called her and said, you are going to be the executive director of the J&C Governor's Legal Counsel, and you will be perfect. Those are quotes. Sharon Caissie's appointment was a secret to me, her recent appointment as clerk magistrate. Close friends on the council know, and a state manager told me, a council told him that Sharon was getting a clerk magistrate job, and that she left. Well, this is not the government I took a pledge to represent. We pledge allegiance for justice for all. I think of all the good people who appear in court who have no chance of being a clerk magistrate. By the way, clerk magistrate's salary is $153, and then they get $50 for bail and all that.
Sounds very
The
low.
one thing is that they don't have age limitation as a judge. So they stay in any age. Now, my point of information to you, Lieutenant Governor, and I do want to say that I had misunderstood the vote, and I corrected that, and I did not vote for this nominee. Now my point of information to you, Lieutenant Governor. Sharon Caissie's duties were to interview the nominee after the J&C interview to recommend to the governor. Now, in her case, she couldn't interview herself, so who did interview Sharon Caissie after her J&C interview and who recommended her to the governor? You know, it's not always popular to do the right thing, but, you know, this is not what I signed up for, and I came in with the best. Governor Salucci and Lynn Lewin, and they were the best, and that's what I was hoping this administration would be. So, as I said, it's not popular, but I am asking you, Lieutenant Governor, what happened in that after she was interviewed and approved by the J&C? How did she interview after that? She couldn't interview herself, and so how did she ever get recommended to the governor? Can you tell me that process?
Are you finished with your statement?
Pardon?
Are you finished with your statement?
Yeah, I am. There's a lot I could say, but I want to be respectful. But this was not a respectful way of doing it. And, I'm not going to accept this kind of procedure because I came in with the best. I came in with the best. And God rest Governor Salucci. He would, in his term, he would never approve something like this because he said that anyone working for him in his administration would have to have be gone a certain length of time before they could apply for a position. That's the way it should be. And this is, I think of all the good people who want to be, a clerk magistrate. And this was kept pro tempore. And so it was never given a permanent position that should have been by Sharon and the administration. So it was there for her to take. But she applied for the Nantucket position. And that's where is another thing that's very disturbing to me, because you have to apply before a deadline. And she applied for Nantucket, and she got the brass ring. She got something closer to home, and that was available and kept available all that time when that clerk magistrate had retired. And this position that she's taking is permanent. It's not pro tempore.
Okay.
It's permanent. So this is not the way government should be run, Lieutenant Governor. So I'm asking you the question, could you tell me that procedure? She couldn't interview us. How did that happen? I'd just like to know.
I just want to thank the Governor's Council for their role in vetting the individuals that come through the process to serve in the judicial branch. It is a very rigorous process that involves many people, including the preparation of an application, the completion of an application and submission by an applicant, the Judicial Nominating Commission that involves over 30 attorneys across the state, as well as an independent body called the Joint Bar, and you as elected members of the Governor's Council to fully vet and be the check on the Governor's nominations to the court. All of these individuals that come through the process have to go through that process and have gone through that process. And I thank you for your statement, and that concludes our business today.
You didn't answer me.
Excuse me, I have something to say before we recess, all right? Oh, no. The reason that you didn't know, okay, was because you treated her so terribly for all the time that she was here. In addition to which, she was the one who interviewed her.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start the 12:30 hearing. Emily, could you bring the nominee in? That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Valerie?
Yep.